Hello and welcome to the Tech to Hair podcast. I'm Jen Stone.
And I am Amber Pearson.
I'm so stoked that we are doing this. For our first episode, let's tell people why we are sitting here together on a podcast.
On a podcast.
Tell me your dream for this.
Okay, well, I guess I've never thought through this, but here we go. Your guess is as good as mine.
Hey, how do we know each other?
Okay, so hair to tech. I am a hairstylist, but...
And you are my hairstylist.
And I am your hairstylist.
But
even before that...
That's not how we met.
No.
Yeah.
We met because you and your children are involved in the aerial world, and I was super involved in the aerial world quite several years ago.
But you know how I met you even before aerials? You were playing with your kick-ass folk rock band. You were playing cello in this band and singing.
Yes.
And it was at the
Copper Common. It was Copper Common.
Yeah, grill pub downtown.
Yes.
And we had a mutual friend who is the aerialist of aerialists. She puts on all the things.
Amazing.
I know.
She's amazing.
We love her.
Yes.
And she said, you have to come and meet this person because you will love her. And I was like, okay, I'm down. So I went and I did. And I told you how much I hated your harmonica player.
You did. You did. But I swear I had met you even before then because I had done aerial Olympics. I competed in the first aerial Olympics.
Then you met me and I spaced it.
It's okay. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, true.
There was a lot going on.
True.
But, yeah.
So then for years, I know it's been years, right? Yeah. You've been my stylist, and all the way along you talked to me about, here's the direction I'm going with hair now, and here is where I'm going now, because I need to feel like I'm expanding and doing more and reaching my potential. I just feel like there's more to do in life. And I would be like, don't give up on hair, because you can do a lot. And one day you were like, guess what? I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, like last week?
Yeah.
Last week, you mean? No, just kidding. At the beginning of, I think it's been on and off over the past several years. Maybe even since I've done hair, but the past several years. But really at the beginning of this year, I had been looking at my personal finances more because my person and I just bought a house. So you examine your finances a lot. And I also have financial goals of what I want in my life and what I want my life to look like. So I was really, really examining things pretty closely.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. Hey, that thing that the world is going through.
Lockdown.
Yes. So I was already like, okay, if I want to reach these financial goals, that means that I have to work this much. And how in the fuck do I do that? I don't have that energy. I do not have that capacity. I know some stylists that do. They're amazing. I am just not that way.
Yeah. Well, and you spend a lot of time with each individual, and you have a relationship with your customers. The service you provide is it's intense. It's a lot you can't just kind of siphon them through doing that.
No, and I don't believe in that either. No. I don't want anyone to leave feeling like just a sheep that was just herded through. I can't.
And so you started teaching classes and doing online things and expanding your business in that way, and it still wasn't satisfying to you. And so it was funny because all the way along I was like, try this, and what if you expand this, and what if you give that a try? And you're like, yes. But it was like, oh, remember when my hair was like super long, and I came to you one day and I said, today is the day that we are cutting it off, and you're like, oh, you've said kind of things before, but I actually believe you this time. Yeah. We're going to do it.
You're ready.
And so it was like that. It was like you went, I need to change, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And here we are.
And so where do you go from stylist to what is the career path of what are you doing?
That's a great question. And that is what I'm on the journey of finding. And during all of this downtime, being very abruptly unemployed, like serious life questions. What am I doing? What is next? What am I capable of that I don't even know that I'm capable of because I've never given myself the opportunity to explore that, because my adult life has all been hair, which is wonderful. I am proud of where I am, but I know that I'm capable of so much more. But how are these skills, how do you quantify them? How do you quantify having 10 years of hair experience and working in the salon? So something that I did during this downtime was I wrote up a resume, because I'm like, well, shit, I probably need to get a job because I don't know what this is going to look like. And also it's probably good for me to just have a resume anyway, that I can continue to update and keep track of while I go through life and things. So, but something else that I noticed and was trying to research during all of this is like, what are career options for hairstylists?
Yeah.
What else can we do? We have so many skills, and I would love to see how people that don't do hair, what they would do if they were to all of a sudden be a self-employed hairstylist. There are so many hats that we wear.
Right.
So many hats. We have to book appointments. We have to do social media. We have to do our own inventory. We have to be the concierge when you get here. We have to be your therapist. We have to
Bookkeeping.
We have to do bookkeeping.
Taxes.
I've done my own accounting since I was 18 years old. My mentor taught me how to do my own accounting. Thank you, Paula. So, don't forget, we have to do your actual hair.
Oh, yeah.
Also. Do the actual thing that you're here for. So we're hardworking people. We wear a lot of hats, which is awesome. But what do these skills translate into? And often I have heard, and I've told you this before, I've heard a couple of hairstylists say things like, well, why do you think I do hair? Because I don't like math, or things like that. Can you even make my eyes roll in the back of my head enough when people say that? It drives me.
First time you told me that, I just was like, what are you making excuses for not being great at other what is this holding you back? This belief system that you're putting in your own head by saying things like that?
I don't know, but it makes me sad and it makes me angry when I hear that, because one, they're discrediting themselves. Yeah, maybe some of us aren't good at math, but like, do not put that on the rest of us. Because I am smart and I do like math.
Yeah. Oh, you totally are smart.
And I do hair also.
And so when I was preparing for this, because you asked me, well, what's my way forward? And I thought, wow, how do I help with that? Because that's like being a mentor, and what if I suck at this?
No, wait, impossible.
So I went and I started doing some research, and because of that, you telling me that story, I went and looked up. So the National Science Foundation talks about this. Here's an article I found from 2017, which both of the big articles that I found were from 2017, the studies, and I know sounds like it was like 168 years ago, but
maybe in tech world it was.
Right? But honestly, it's only in the way that the world, spins on does its thing. It's only less than 3 years ago, okay, that these articles came. Well, one of them came out a little more than 3 years ago, but that's math, and math is hard. Just kidding. Don't roll your eyes at me. So one of them was, by age 6, gender stereotypes can affect girls' choices. And so so maybe I should say what I do. So I'm a cybersecurity analyst. I'm for a company in Utah that none of the things that I say here should reflect badly on them. If I make mistakes or if I swear, that is not on them, that is on me. So I have a different podcast that I do for them that is a professional one. Sure. It is for, spreading security and compliance topics all over.
I just started listening today and I love it.
Yay!
I love it. You have such a good radio voice, Jen.
Oh,
yes,
thank you.
It's so good. It's so good to hear.
So I just thought I should say, okay, yes, I am in cybersecurity, and if we talk about stereotypes, it's interesting how the dislike for math really does start when you're young, and people who want to go read this, we can. I don't know. This is my first time figuring out how to do all this, but we'll put the links in the show notes. Or not. You can maybe Google this one. So by age 6, gender stereotypes can affect your girls' choices. This is on the National Science Foundation's page. And I've heard this before where, girls get told what they should and should not be good at. And so they start taking that on. And it's not just girls. There are a lot of studies that say if you have a group of kids in elementary school and you put them into the smart group and the dumb group for math, the dumb group does not succeed. The smart group does, whether or not their initial scores bear out whether they should have been one group or the other, right? So that belief in yourself as you're coming along learning, it has so much to do with it. And then also, as women, we look at different career paths and say, who do I see that looks like me or that I can relate to, who's in this? And if you don't see it, it's hard to be it. So in the 90s when I started off in IT, and there were no women, especially here in Utah, mostly I did it because I was contrary. I've spent my life contrary. And so, but I needed a good job that paid well. And I find a lot of value in the tech world because it's interesting. There's always a challenge to address. There's always something new to learn. And so that's what I do. But even today, it is 2020. And when I started with the company that I'm with now, I guess it was 4 years ago, I was in the elevator with a woman that I had not seen, brand new, going up the elevator. And she says, "Oh, you're new. What do you do?" And I said, I'm on the audit team. And she said, "Oh, you're an audit coordinator?"
What does that mean?
Coordinators are they are the awesomest because they're the ones that help me remember when is my appointment, or can you schedule me an appointment, or they're the glue that holds together the work of going on site and looking at people's systems and writing the reports. Like, they keep me on track for the process things and the interstitial emails and scheduling and all of those things that have to go on in order for someone to get a security report from me, right? Okay, so she says, "Oh, you're an audit coordinator?" I was like, "No, I mean, I go to lunch with them all the time because they're awesome, but no, I'm an auditor." Oh, you're on the audit team? Yes, as an auditor. You're an auditor? Yes. She goes, so the elevator goes ding, and she goes, "Huh." Steps off, and I continue to my floor, and I was like, "What does "huh" mean? I don't even."
Yeah.
And I literally still run into people who have told me to my face, customers who have told me to my face, "Oh, women should not be in the workforce." Man. So this is not like, it's not like we don't encounter this still. And so when you're talking about, stereotypes and how do I find a path forward if I don't see a path forward, there's reasons there. We can't solve all of society's, mindset and the way we look at things right now. But the more people show up and show that you can do this thing, I think it's easier for people like you to go, "Hey, I could do this thing."
Definitely. Because there's badasses like you leading by example and paving the way. And it's incredible. It's so awesome. That's why I was interested, seriously, in cybersecurity. As I've been looking at different options within tech, I'm like, cybersecurity. I mean, Jen does it, and she's my favorite. So if she likes it, then I probably will too. Oh, so let's explore this.
It is my favorite job I have ever had. And I love IT, but cybersecurity is great. And but I know that you wanted to look at other things, not just cybersecurity, but other tech things. And so I got a couple of articles to kind of look at and talk through about why maybe cybersecurity is important, but also, the broader area of tech. And then so the way this podcast is, I think we're going to take it is, you and I are going to talk about it a little today, and then we're going to take some topics that you're interested in but know nothing about, and see if we can find people out there in the greater world who are willing to come and talk to us.
Which sounds rad.
Right?
I love that.
Okay.
I love that so much.
So that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're going to do today is kind of lay the groundwork for how you are going to decide kind of the direction you're going to take for education or career path and what's out there and what it takes to do the different things. So
yes, I'm excited, and I hope that this can be a helpful resource, not just to hairstylists, but other creatives or people just looking for a career change that is going from something completely different. But with life experience, of course, we get skills that maybe we didn't know were so helpful.
Yeah.
Like servers, amazing at multitasking and handling stressful situations, or continuing to keep their composure when someone's being an asshole or is demanding.
Sure.
That is hugely valuable. Hugely.
Maybe I should have spent a stint as a server, because I am not patient when people turn into assholes. I literally told a customer to go fuck himself once. And then I was like, great, now I have to call my boss during lunchtime and make sure I haven't been fired myself.
But you were holding true to your no asshole policy.
I do. I have a very strong no asshole policy. Let's just, by our abilities or by our knowledge or by our willingness to learn, find our way forward and not be restricted by biases, which we all have. But let's recognize them and try and not let them get in our way. Okay, so I thought this article was really interesting. It's from Fast Company, which I read on occasion. I really enjoy what they have to say. But this article was about the gender gap in cybersecurity and why having less diversity in the whole realm of cybersecurity makes us less capable of handling online crime. So 2017, again, harking back to the studies that went on then, cybersecurity field had 14% of women in it compared to 48% of women in the general workforce. So, all the numbers that we look at, these are U.S. numbers, and I was amazed when you look at outside the U.S., women account for 10% in Asia Pacific region, 9% in Africa, 8% in Latin America. So sometimes I go to India to do assessments, and I love this. I mean, it's just the food there is fantastic. The people are terrific. But a lot of times I get called sir. I'm like, dude, why are you calling me sir? I think it's because not a lot of women do the jobs that they're used to. And so they're like, it's like when you're in any situation where you're used to saying certain words and phrases, those just come out, and then you're like, well, now I feel dumb because I said the wrong thing, but oh well. So there are only 1% of female internet security workers in senior management positions.
What? Yeah. Is that in the world?
So I believe that's in the U.S. again. Okay. It doesn't say exactly. This is kind of vague numbers, but it's accurate to what we're talking about. Personally, I don't want to be in senior management.
What is that? Can you explain to me what senior management means?
Oh, yeah. So have you heard of a C-suite? No.
I know that name, but I don't know what it is.
So if you have
CEO.
Yeah,
CFO.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the ones that start with the C's, they're the ones that set the strategic direction of a company, right? And so what direction do they want the company to go in? And if you're CFO, then it's the direction, financially, and the CEO is the executive kind of oversight for everything, right? So if you get to that level, and there are very, very few women in security positions. When I got hired at my current company, there's people won't go to management position. There's no opportunity for you to move into management. And I said, yes, because you know what a management position is? hi, I can't come in this morning because I'm taking my cat to the vet. Right? You get those calls where the people have all the excuses for all the reasons they're not doing the things, and I don't want to be do your jobs. So I want to be a leader of one. Maybe that's lazy. See, now I'm questioning everything I'm saying out loud.
Maybe that's lazy. What is?
Not wanting to be the manager, not wanting to be the one helping other people along. Well, is what it is.
That sounds exhausting to me too.
Right. So I really thought this was interesting. As you scroll down in this article, only 30% of scientists and engineers are in the U.S. What's happened? We had a power surge.
Whoa.
And we're back. Okay. So I thought this was very interesting. Only 30% of scientists and engineers in the U.S. are women.
Wow.
So, you said you're interested in something tech-related.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's not a lot of... I think that's great because we need more women. More diversity makes... I think it makes everything better. So, if you look at the job of internet security as a job that men do, then women, coming along, looking for a new career path, coming straight out of high school, coming out of college, whatever, they might think, how do I don't even know about this as a job. Like, it's probably not something that they say, hey, I want to do this, because they haven't even heard of it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, vaguely heard of it, but as a career path, yeah. So one of the things that is really interesting about cybersecurity is that I don't know if it's non-technical, or there are sides of cybersecurity that you don't have to have gone through IT operations. You don't have to have been a developer. There are a lot of things that you can be good at cybersecurity aspects of it without those technical pieces. For example, phishing. So if you want social engineering of all kinds, you want to get somebody to do something and then you reap the rewards of it, and it's kind of underhanded, right? Social engineering. Mm-hmm. So a lot of women are very good at understanding and helping people recognize social engineering so they don't fall for it. So
that seems like something that hairstylists already do. We social engineer everyone. Seriously. Right when you walk in, it's like, I am scanning your body language. What is your body language telling me? Are you coming in with a smile? Do you have a bunch of luggage with you? We do that already because it's like, I have to match. I don't have to, but
that's better.
That's just how I am, is like, okay, I can see what this person is. Let me bring myself. Let's meet at the same level.
So you're mirroring them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure a skill. And then when you say, hey, how do you like this with your haircut? And they go,
it's good. Bullshit. Don't lie to me. I can see it.
That's why I like doing security assessments in person on site, because there's always that point where their body language tells you, and you go, what's going on? Tell me, just tell me the thing.
Right.
Right. Or my favorite question that I always ask, and it's not in any compliance or regulation checkoff box. It is, you know what the biggest risk is to your security? What is that, and how do we get it fixed? And the engineers will go, oh, we've been trying to do this forever, and we can't get the budget, or we have disagreement on how to solve this or whatever. And I say, hey, you know what? If I write that up in the report, it will get focus, and then you'll be able to fix it. And they go, oh, I'm like this. A lot of times people are very hesitant about a third-party analysis because they don't recognize that it can be used as a good way to increase their security, which really good IT and security guys already want, right? Mm-hmm. You get a third party beating that drum for you as well, things get a lot smoother and you can close those gaps. So it's the same thing. It's like, over the phone or online, those social engineering opportunities just aren't there. And I don't think most people think of it as, so let me social engineer you into telling me what I can do to help fix your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But that's a lot what it is.
Right.
On the good side. On the evil side, that is just getting your grandma to give them $10,000. We don't want that.
Yes.
So, this article goes on and talks about differences in degrees between business, social sciences, technology, these types of things. So, and then when I look at some of the solutions that people come up with to bringing women into cybersecurity, there seem to be people on one or the other side of the fence. I think there's a middle way, but it's either teach people that they need to not be biased and bring women in, teach women to lean in and be responsible for themselves. I don't think one or the other is the answer. I think that there is a way of bringing people in by showing them that it's a safe and enjoyable place for them to be in their career where they can excel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, this is something that I'm so curious about too, is what is it like to work in an environment like that? Because I have never had an experience like that. I have been self-employed for 10 years and worked in the salon, and most of my clientele have been female. So in fact, you are the one that had to tell me what mansplaining is. I'm like, what is that? And how often do you get that? And then, of course, that same week, right, I got mansplained about scuba diving. And I was like, I was just fucking scuba diving 3 weeks ago, dude. And you're mansplaining me right now. Anyway,
that's right, because I was telling you a story about one of my friends who rides motorcycles. We went to a motorcycle thing, and somebody mansplained, and she said, "Oh, that is some really great. What were the two things?
Engraving or
etching." She said, "Oh, I love the engraving on that bike." And he said, "Actually, it's not engraving; it's etching." And I said, "Really? What's the difference?" And he said, "Well, I don't know, but someone told me that it's not engraving, it's etching." I said, "Let me tell you what it is."
Did you say actually?
Man, I should have. I missed the opportunity.
Next time.
Engraving is physical, where you're rubbing on things and making a little divot. And etching is where you're using chemicals. He went, "Oh, I didn't know that." I said, "Then why were you mansplaining it to my friend?"
Seriously.
Like, honestly, I wanted to pop him in the nose, but you're not allowed to do that.
Just have to make your own convention so you can do it.
Yes, one day.
If you need to.
Put on my own convention. Okay. So there are a lot of places where there are mentoring opportunities so that you can understand more and learn more. We should bring some people on that talk about mentoring and how to seek out mentoring because you should have more than one mentor in life and figure out, who can help me understand various things. Then there are ways of learning new skills. So there are a lot of opportunities to finding out more about what you want to do and how we can help you do it. We just have to seek them out and then invite people on.
Yeah, which sounds awesome. And I would love to get to talk to more women in tech. I feel very fortunate that I have a handful of clients that are in tech, which is amazing. Like, you're all so badass. And I think that's also part of what has drawn me to this, is because there's something about my female clients that are in tech that I'm like, God, you're so cool.
We have magic.
Seriously. It's incredible. And I love talking to each of you to hear what it's been like and what you do and all of that, especially because it is, I know, such a male-dominated field, but it's like, I know how fucking rad you are. Does everybody else know how rad you are?
I tell them all the time, and then they go, "Whatever, Jen."
No, seriously, listen up.
Great. So that we have our way forward then. We're going to find people who will talk to you. If you are in technology, and we're not talking about just cybersecurity, right?
Right.
We're talking about all that tech today because that's what I'm in, and so that's where my bias is going to be. But we're talking about all tech, and if you're in tech and you would like to talk to to Amber. I'm sorry, I have a fly here. We're shooting in my back shed with the chickens. So
Yes.
hi, chickens.
I hear their peeps. They're so cute.
So if you're in technology, you want to talk to Amber, we would love to talk to more people. Just get in contact with us. We'll have that link in the show notes as well. And thanks for talking to me today. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. And until next time, this is Jen.
And Amber.
Take care.